Hello, my gorgeous people. How are we today? A Saturday afternoon. What a day! Whew. Going through a lot at the moment. The universe is certainly challenging me with, lots about relationships and honesty and being my authentic self and being really truthful. So yeah, I want to talk about that. I don't have a plan for today's chat, but yeah, there's a lot going on, so I want to just deliver whatever comes up as it comes up. So yeah, I noticed on that I had the really raw session where I broke down the reasons I believe that I'm overweight and how my childhood and my upbringing brought me to that place. And I think I might have mentioned my alcohol relationship in a few podcasts, probably oversharing. That's me. But anyway, it's not about that. But that really does play into a lot of my life experience because adding alcohol tends to create chaos in my life. And first of all, my relationship with myself, then my relationships with others, and then in the behaviors and the things that I do that aren't ideal and create quite a lot of carnage that I then have to deal with at some point. And I think a little bit of that is actually a big lot of that is coming up at the moment. And that's kind of exciting because I think it's 5 years. I haven't actually counted this time. I got to 4 years last time. So I think and then my father died, and then I drank again for another 4 years. And this time I think it's about 5 years. I think it was 2021 because that there's a C word that was a bad year for humanity and the world in general, where we stayed in our houses a lot because we were told we weren't allowed to do anything else. That period, I think it was after that. So that might have been 2021. And so that's 5 years. Coming up to 5 years, around about October. Okay. Thank you for helping me work that through. I've got the numbers now. So we're going to put down the October 2021 is where I started to confront who I am and take stock of my life and start making positive changes. So how does this relate to relationships? I have noticed that the chaos that I create, that I'm used to, by the way. My childhood was chaotic for me. And when I drink alcohol, I create more chaos, and that all feels familiar. And that particularly in relationships. So I spent a good while last night and today speaking to some people very close to me just about chaos that I caused in my life, that I've hidden, that I've lived with shame and regret and just not being truthful with the extent of some shit that I've created and caused and done. So I talked to some people today, and I've told them, and I actually told them because I need support right now. I need their love and care to help me through it, to help me, work out a plan to put things right, and to also ask their forgiveness for anything that I've done to them. So in relationships, so my modus operandi is to be into hurtful, harmful relationships with men where I perceive that I'm not getting back what I'm putting in, and my needs aren't being met. And in actual fact, I have no idea how to even speak about what my needs are. That from a very young age, I decided it wasn't up to me to have needs. My role was to help other people with their needs. And so the role of caretaker and confidant, and maybe fixer, the doer, the just being reliable and available, became how I had to get through life. And I think drinking might have been a way of just saying, forget it, I can't, I don't want to. And then, your life unravels a little bit, or a lot, as in my case. And staying in the relationships, drinking, eating, putting on weight, not being honest with myself about who I am and what I deserve, but then creating anger about that. So having this kind of redundant anger that I know that I'm giving too much. I know that I'm in this relationship and over providing for the other person, letting them get away with things that they shouldn't, not speaking up, not being truthful. Like I felt gagged, like to a point that like something's over my mouth and I can't speak. And just in the last little while, learning, because I'm in some very safe relationships. I'm very blessed that there's people in my life that do care and are feeding back to me that I'm worthy and I'm special, and that my voice does matter, and that when I speak up, somebody is listening and they want to hear what I've got to say, and that I only ever maybe not only ever, but my default setting is to want to be helpful and kind and assist other people, and I'm not proceeding forward with any hidden negative agenda. But I also am human, and I've messed it up. I do the wrong thing, I say the wrong thing, and by grace, I just had an interaction with one of my sisters today where I had to confess to her that I had done something I'd said some not the best things about her behind her back, and we talked about it, and I said, I wish you were closer, that I could give you a hug, because she's in New Zealand, I'm in Australia, and that's a long way to hug from. But anyway, we kind of had a virtual hug, and yeah, it was really blessed and precious to own what I'd said. I got something in my teeth. I'm so sorry. Deep and meaningful moment, and I cut to the chase about my stupid teeth. Anyway, so I'm grateful for learning the ability to be able to be honest. I'm grateful for the people that are in my life that I can count on to have my back, to be there when I need them, and to accept that I'm not perfect, and forgive me, and still embrace me, and still think I'm all right. I'm a shit really, but yeah, I'm so grateful to my peeps, so grateful to my peeps. Thank you for having my back. Thank you for being there for me. And I really think the only way through this journey is to challenge ourselves with honesty, challenge ourselves to look at who we really are. I had another chat with my flatmate, and we were talking about the locus of control. So it's a spectrum and a pendulum swing, where you can be one side or the other, and then there's all the stages in between. So on one side is the person who lives as a control freak who needs to control everything to feel safe, to feel okay in the world. And if anything happens, it's my fault. How do I change it? What do I do to fix this, etc.? You can look it up, and there's plenty on it on the internet. And on the other side of that spectrum is the person who nothing's their fault. They are totally a victim of circumstance, and what other people choose affects them. And it was because they did or because something else happened, and there's no ownership going on. So you've got the two very extreme mindsets, and wherever you might lie within that. And I've come to realize about these concepts that they are so helpful, because we don't have to be either this one or that one. We can work out in any circumstance what the right way, what's the honest look at it, what part of me can drop the control, and then what part of me needs to face that I'm behaving in a bit of a victim way in this situation. How can I be better? How can I bring some control into this one? And then how can I, and when I'm too controlling and too like, Carol, just suck it up, just get on with it. You've got them in, like I do with myself a lot. So no, go easy on yourself. Take time just to be happy today. Take time just to drop down and recognise that you don't have to have it all put together all of the time. You can just let go sometimes. Sometimes it is the other person's fault. I don't know whether to share a story with you from yesterday about road rage, but I had a little bit of road rage yesterday, which is not something that I normally have. But I was in James Street. So down where I live, James Street is the very, area where they dress to just go onto the street, as in, like, I know I dress to go out, but this is next level. This is like designer this and designer that, and it's got all the beautiful, beautiful shops and the really big cars and big, beautiful cars, And so, like, there was this restaurant, and when I turned and looked down, so it was in a little hotel car park lobby area, and there's big Bentleys in there, so really important people with lots of money have come and they're lunching there. Anyway, so this street is like this, and I was going down, it's a double street, and you're turning left, and I was hugging my lane. I was in my lane, lady on the right hand side of me in a Porsche, four-wheel drive, because, you need to four-wheel drive on the streets of Brisbane. Don't get me started. Anyway, so going around the corner, I stayed in my lane, and I purposely did, because I knew she was there, and I didn't want to drift. And it's one of those streets where you can drift over a lane, in some instances. If there's no one there, you do. She tooted me. Like, what? She tooted me when I was staying in my lane, and I was indignant. It's like, bitch, how dare you? I didn't even move. I'm in my lane. And I did the full, like, in my car. I didn't give her the finger or anything like that. No. I stayed. I didn't lose my cool entirely. But it was like she had preempted that I was going to do the thing that I knew I wasn't going to do. And I was indignant because I didn't do it. Anyway, so, like, I've prided myself on being a person who doesn't really give in to road rage. But anyway, I did in that moment. I don't know how I got onto the road rage. I'm sorry, it felt relevant, and then not so much. When I tell the story, it's not so relevant. I can't even wind back to think of what I was talking about before I gave you the road rage story. Maybe it was just to lighten it up. Maybe that's all it was. That just, it's a heavy topic, and I know that sometimes when we do a bit too much of the work and the self-examination, get analysis paralysis, from analysing why we're doing things, what we're doing, who we are, how to be better, but, all those things that I deal with constantly, how to be better, did I say the right thing, did I say the wrong thing, should I have said anything, should I have said that, maybe I didn't say something when I should have said something. It's exhausting. but it's just a day in the life of. So getting back to the pendulum is in that moment, it's like, no, she tooted at me. She didn't need to toot at me. I didn't need to go off. But, and we all drive away and you have your little moment where you've got that feisty little, but it's over. No one got hurt. Everything is as it should be. No cars even got hurt. Not even the Porsche four-wheel drive that we drive around the city because, there might be a puddle. Anyway. Yeah, bit manic today, people. Bit manic little pixie. It's me. Yeah. So relationships, if we can come back to using that locus of control, what's the honest situations? They quite often say, them, that there's your truth, my truth, and the actual truth. And like being the observer that then looks at like what's going on, cutting out the emotions, just looking at the facts of what has happened and evaluating it from that perspective. So being honest about myself in this moment, in this situation. This is definitely something I can learn from, take to heart, change and be better at. And then that part of it is actually it's nothing to do with me. It's on the other side. It's something that they can do. And I think in relationships, the beauty of it is that both people are committed to finding that ground where we're both looking at the facts and owning our own shit together, own shit in that moment, and that's happening, and giving each other grace and forgiving one another. And that's what my sister gave me today. And I am so, so grateful. Thank you to my sister who is on the journey with me. And as all my sisters are, my people that love me and I love. And you people, you're on the journey too. And I really want to come to you in a moment where I'm vulnerable and experiencing a lot, and give you some thoughts and some information and some facts about what's happening in life to maybe parallel with whatever it is that you're dealing with and you're going through and need a little bit of support with. On that note, you can you can message me, and you can either do that in the chat, or I think there is a way you can email me. There's an email address there that I look at. So if you want to reach out for any reason, there's ways of doing that privately. You can do that through our Facebook group, the Life by Design Show Facebook group, which I would like. I've got it linked to my channel, so you can just jump in there and start talking. I think it will ask you to join, and you can take it from there. The more people that come along and start entering information, the more resources we've got, more support we can create for each other. And then, as I mentioned, you can email me, so that's private, and I will try to get back to emails, especially, in the early days when I'm only getting maybe 1 or 2 months. They'll be easy to relate to. In the Facebook chat, I am going to try and start adding in content regularly. I've put a message in there today. So maybe a little bit cryptic, maybe a little bit needs some people just to kind of front up and add something so we can see where it goes. This is your channel for you to assist me in my journey to assist myself and you. So, thanks, people. There's been a lot in this, and that's the kind of day I'm having. So, hope you're enjoying your Saturday. It's a beautiful, beautiful day where I am. And I hope you've got lots of people around you that love you and realise how gorgeous, wonderful and terrific you are. And that, you cherish yourself and you cherish those around you. Have a good one, peeps. Love you. Bye-bye.